Now, I'm a teacher of performing arts and language arts. So who am I to be talking about race? Actually, I teach something very important. I teach students to imagine. And we might think, well, we can just diversify the curriculum, right, and include voices of diverse backgrounds. But I have to think about the way that I'm doing it. It's not really that simple, because if the only voices of people of color that I feature in my classroom are people expressing being marginalized and oppressed, that's all that students can imagine. So students have to be able to imagine a future in which they are empowered, where all students are empowered. And we look at things like N.K. Jemisin, the writer who wrote How Long Till Black Future Month, where she talks about in speculative fiction and science fiction, even people of color are underrepresented there. So we think about students writing themselves into the future, students of color writing themselves into places of power, and imagining that through fiction. Or things like musical theater, not just reimagining the future, but reimagining the past. How has Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton reimagined our history? By putting a Black George Washington on stage, by reimagining our founding fathers through the lens of hip-hop culture. We have to be able to imagine, because at some point, the idea of whiteness was just an idea in someone's imagination, and it was created as a system of oppression. Diane DePrima says, the famous poet, that the only war is the war against the imagination. The only war is the war against the imagination. The only war is the war against the imagination. And all other wars are subsumed in it. So how can we teach students to imagine a new future for all of us? Thank you very much.